Hey guys, we're just going to do a quick review over fractions. So it's math review at home with Miss Blackwell. We're going to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of fractions. So pay close attention so you can remember what to do. All right, so whenever you add or subtract your fractions, remember that you need a common denominator. And that means that the lower numbers on your fraction, the denominators, have to be the exact same before you can do anything or solve anything. So we're going to start off with 3/4 plus 2 1/2. Remember that we've got to change our 2 1/2 from an improper fraction to a mixed number. So we're going to change it by multiplying 2 times 2, multiplying our denominator by our whole number, then adding the top. We went over this so many times. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. That gives us 5/2 now. So we have 3/4 plus 5/2. Now, do we have the same denominator? No. So we have to change it to make them the same. 2 can become 4, therefore we don't have to change anything about the 4. We just change the 2 to make it a 4, so they're now the same. So 2 times 2 is 4, and whatever you do to the bottom number, remember you have to come up and do the exact same thing to the top. So that is 2 times 2 is 4, 5 times 2 is 10. Now we have 3/4 plus 10/4, which gives us 13/4. Now, can we ever leave a smaller number at the bottom of our fraction? No, we can't. So we've got to see how many times 4 goes into 13. It goes 3 times because 4 times 3 is 12, but that leaves 1 left over, a remainder of 1, and that remainder goes on top, and you still keep that common denominator. So 13/4 becomes 3 1/4. All right, that is addition. Let's look at a subtraction problem for review real quick. Our subtraction problem, we've got 5 minus 1 1/4. Remember that your whole number has to go over a 1. So you've got 5/1 now. We've got to change this from an improper fraction to, or from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So we have to do 4 times 1, which is 4, add the 1 on top, which is 5. Now we have 5/1 minus 5/4. And you need a common denominator, so we've got to make these denominators the same. In order to make them the same, we're going to change this 1 right here to a 4. Remember, whatever you multiply the bottom number by to make it the same, you have to multiply the top number by. So 1 times 4 gave us a 4. 5 times 4 gave us 20. So now we have 20/4 minus 5/4, and that equals 15/4. Remember to keep your denominators the same. You don't subtract or add your denominators ever. Can we keep it 15/4? Absolutely not. Remember, the lower number can't be smaller than the upper number. Your denominator can never be smaller. So we see that 4 goes into 15 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. Your remainder of 3 goes on top, and you keep your denominator, which is 3 3/4. All right, next problem is multiplication. Remember on multiplication that you do not need a common denominator here. So when you multiply, you just multiply straight across. So you do not have to find a common denominator when you multiply. So our problem is 5/6 times 1/3. Remember, no common denominator needed. This one's super easy. You just multiply straight across. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 3 is 18. So your answer would just simply be 5/18 for multiplication. Very easy. Multiply straight across. All right, on the division problem, we have 2 1/2 divided by a 3. So remember, we got to change this from our mixed number to an improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4. Add your 1, which is 5, and keep your denominator. So this one becomes 5/2 right there. Remember that your whole number always goes over top of a 1, so now you've got 3/1. So our problem became 5/2 divided by 3/1. And what method do we use to divide fractions? Your keep, flip, change, KFC. So we're going to keep the left number and flip the right. So we're keeping 5/2, flipping 3/1, and then changing our division to multiplication. So now we have 5 over 2 times 1 over 3 because we flipped here. Now, when you multiply, remember you just multiply straight across. So 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 3 is 6, and your answer is 5/6. All right, that's it for fraction review. I hope you guys learned something, remembered something, and we'll see you next time.